Wiggle your fingers, wiggle your toes, bend your knees and your elbows, and look and see if everybody is doing it too, just like you. Start bobbing up and down with your arms to the side, then flap them up and down like a butterfly, and look and see if everybody is doing it too, just like you. And if we all do the same, we'll all be together, moving around as one. And if we all do it now, we'll all be together, having a whole lot of fun, just like you.
Hello everyone, and welcome to the Barnes Children's Literature Festival 2020 at home. My name's Suzanne and I've been volunteering with the festival since its very first year in 2015. Now today is a very special day. Not only is it the last day of the festival, it is also Judith Kerr's 96th birthday. And we've got some very special events lined up for you to celebrate this today. We've got a storytelling event with Stanley Tucci reading The Tiger Who Came to Tea. We've got a Remembering Judith Kerr event with Axel Scheffler and Lauren Child. But first, this year also is very special because it marks Mog the Cat's 50th birthday. So to celebrate, we've got a very special storytelling event. So sit back and relax as we have a storytelling event with everyone's favourite forgetful cat. It's Mog!
Hello, and welcome to the Barnes Children's Literature Festival at home. My name's Liz, and I've got a brilliant job. I'm a storyteller. But the stories I tell are quite special stories, because they're stories you need to join in with. So I'm going to need all of you to help me tell the story today. Now today's story was written and illustrated by a lady who lived in Barnes. Her name is Judith Kerr. And if she'd still been alive, today, 14th of June, would have been her birthday. And so the story we're going to do today is about one of her most loved characters. This is Mog. And of course Mog is a cat. Can you make a cat noise? Let's try after 3. Are you ready? 1, 2, 3. Meow! Lovely. Now Mog lives with the Thomas family. There's Mr. and Mrs. Thomas, Nicky their son, and their daughter Debbie. Mog is a lovely cat, but she's not always very clever. Like all cats, she doesn't really understand human things. But the problem Mog has is that she can be very forgetful. Sometimes she eats her supper and then forgets that she's eaten it, and meows for more, like this. Meow. You do it. Ready? Meow. That's right. Sometimes she'll be washing her leg, then something will distract her, and she forgets all about it. Once, after watching some birds, Mog forgot that cats can't fly, and she fell out of the tree. Like this. Wow! You try it. Ready? 1, 2, 3. Wow! Well done. But most of all, Mog forgets that she's got a cat flap, a little door that lets her go out into the garden and come back into the house. Mog loves going out to play in the garden. She gets really excited. She likes to smell all the smells, like this. Can you do it? Ready? That's right. She likes to chase the birds, like this. You do it. That's it. And climb the trees with her claws, like this. And sometimes she just runs around and around with a big fluffed up tail. But sometimes when it's time to go in, well, that's when she forgets her cat flap. So instead, she jumps up onto the kitchen windowsill and meows till someone opens the window and lets her in. You can always tell when Mog has done this, because all the flowers in Mr. Thomas's window box are squashed flat. When this happens, it makes Mr. Thomas very sad. Can you make a sad face like this? And he says, "Bother that cat." You try it. Ready? Bother that cat. That's right. But Debbie just says, "I think she's nice." One day, Mog had a really bad day. She was fast asleep, curled up, purring away, like this. She was having a lovely dream when suddenly she was awoken with a start. Nicky had picked her up and given her a hug. Mog liked having hugs, but this hug was really hard. It squashed her and made her go like this. Meow! Mog jumped down and went into the kitchen where the family were having breakfast. Nicky was eating an egg. Mog forgot that cats usually have milk for breakfast and only occasionally have eggs as a treat. She jumped up onto the table and soon she started licking Nicky's egg. Mrs. Thomas was furious and shooed her away, saying, "Bother that cat." Can you say it? Ready? Bother that cat. But Debbie said, "Nicky doesn't like eggs anyway." Mog slunk away. She went to the door and looked out of her cat flap into the garden. It was raining. Mog didn't like the rain. Maybe it's sunny on the other side of the house, she thought. So she went over to the front door, and when the milkman came and the door opened, off she went, out into the street. It was raining in the street too. Mog hated getting wet. Just then she heard a noise like this. Ruff, ruff, ruff. Can you guess what it was? Yes, her big dog was coming down the street, woofing away like this. Ruff, ruff, ruff. You do it. Ready? Ruff, 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 ruff. Mog began to run, but the dog began to run as well, behind her. Mog forgot that she got a cat flap. She ran right round the house, over the fence and into the garden and jumped up onto the kitchen windowsill like this. Meow! With a great big meow. Let's try again. A great big meow, very sudden and very loud. Ready? 1, 2, 3. Meow! Mrs. Thomas was in the kitchen draining some peas. She was so surprised by the meow, she dropped the pot. Peas went everywhere, all over the floor. "Bother that cat!" she cried. But Debbie muttered, it wasn't her fault, and let her in through the back window. Mog was feeling very tired and let out a big yawn like this. Looking around, she saw a nice comfy chair. Up she jumped and settled down, and soon she was fast asleep. Mog had a lovely dream. She dreamt she had wings like a bird and was flying through the sky, faster and faster. She could fly faster than all the birds, even the big ones. Suddenly, she was awakened by a loud roar. "My hat!" Mog had forgotten to check if there was anything on the chair before she jumped on it. She'd been sleeping on Mrs. Thomas's hat. Mrs. Thomas looked at Mog and frowned like this, and said, "Bother that cat!" But Debbie said, "I think you look nicer without your hat." Debbie gave her supper and she ate it all up. Then it was time for the children to go to bed. Mog went into the sitting room where Mr. Thomas was watching television. She looked up at the television. That looks like a nice place to sleep, she thought, away from everyone. So she jumped up and soon she'd settled down. But Mog forgot that she hadn't tucked her tail in. Mr. Thomas was trying to watch a boxing match on the television and Mog's tail was getting in the way. He got very cross and shouted, you ready after three? 1, 2, 3, bother that cat! Mog jumped down and ran out of the room. She felt sad. Nobody likes me, she thought. And then she had another thought. Debbie likes me. So she went upstairs to Debbie's room. Debbie was fast asleep in bed, with her hair spread out over the pillow. Mog snuggled up. Debbie's hair was soft. Mog thought it felt like kitten fur. But then Mog forgot that Debbie wasn't a kitten, and she began to lick her hair like this. You do it. Ready? That's right. Debbie had a dream. It was a bad dream. It was a dream about a tiger. The tiger wanted to eat Debbie, and it was licking her hair. She woke up suddenly, shouting, "Help! Help! Help!" Mog jumped. Mr. and Mrs. Thomas came running into the room. When they saw what had happened, they looked at Mog and both shouted very loudly, "Bother, bother, bother that cat!" Can you do it? Are you ready? Bother, bother, bother that cat! But Debbie said nothing. She was still crying. Mog ran downstairs, through the kitchen, through the cat flap, and out into the garden. It was dark and cold in the garden. Mog felt very sad indeed. Nobody likes me, she thought. They've all gone to bed and forgotten about me. They haven't even given me any supper. She forgot she'd already eaten her supper. She looked at the house. It was all dark as everyone was in bed. Then suddenly she noticed something. In the kitchen there was a light, but not the normal light from the ceiling. It was a beam of light moving around. Mog looked again. There was somebody in the kitchen. A man was in there. Oh, maybe that man could let me in, thought Mog. Maybe he could give me some supper too. So she jumped up onto the kitchen windowsill with a great big meow, like this. Meow! Can you do it? 1, 2, 3, meow! The man in the kitchen was very surprised and dropped his bag, which was filled with all the Thomas's silver knives and forks. They all went crashing to the ground, like this. Crash! Can you guess what that man was? Yes, he was a burglar. The noise of the bag crashing to the ground woke everybody up in the house, and they all came running to the kitchen. "A burglar!" cried Mr. Thomas, and he phoned the police immediately. The burglar looked at Mog and muttered, "Bother that cat!" The policeman came, and they told him what had happened. "What a remarkable cat," he said. "I've seen watch dogs, but never a watch cat. She will get a medal." "I think she'd rather have an egg," said Debbie. The policeman took the burglar away, but not before they'd all had a nice cup of tea. In fact, Mog did get a medal, which she wore around her neck. She also had an egg every day for breakfast. Mr. and Mrs. Thomas told all their friends about her. They said, "Mog really is a remarkable cat." And they never, or almost never, again said, "Bother that cat." And that is the end of my story. Thank you very much for helping me tell it. Now, today is a very special day indeed, for not only is it Judith Kerr's birthday, it's Mog's birthday as well, and she's coming here to celebrate it with us. In fact, I think that's her now. Hello, Mog, come on in. How lovely to see you. Let's give Mog a wave. Hello. Have you been having a nice birthday, Mog? You have? What have you been up to today? Oh, having a good sleep. Cats like to sleep, don't they? What else have you been doing? Oh, running around the garden, one of your favourite things. How lovely. Anything else? Ah, reading books. Good idea. Well, it's lovely to see you, Mog. And I thought, as it's your birthday and you've come all this way, we ought to have a little bit of a party to help you celebrate. Would you like that? Yes, I thought you would. So we're going to play some party games and you can join in at home. Now, the first game we're going to play is called Musical Statues. Have you ever played that before? No. Well, just in case you haven't, this is what you have to do. It's very easy. We're going to put some music on, and when you hear the music, we're all going to dance. But the music will suddenly stop. And when it stops, what do you have to do? Yes, you have to be still and make your body into a statue, Mog. Have you got that? All right then, let's have a go. Let's have the music. Here we go. Let's all get dancing. Oh, lovely. That's it. And... oh dear. Mog, I think you forgot something. Did you remember to be a statue? Mog didn't, did she? Never mind, let's try again. Now don't forget, when the music stops, you have to be a statue, Mog. Are you ready? All right, off we go. Here comes the music. Let's pretend we're cats, prowling through the long grass. Ooh, that's nice, Mog. Yes, and now we're climbing trees. Oh dear, Mog's forgotten again. She is a forgetful cat. Mog, don't forget, when the music stops, you have to be a statue. Let's try once more. Are you ready? Here we go. Off we go with the music. This time, let's pretend we're wiggling our tails like cats. That's it. And stop. You did it! Well done, Mog. Let's give Mog a clap. Well done. That was great. Now, I've got another party game for you. This one is called Mog Says. Now, it's a bit like Simon Says that you might have played before. What happens is I'm going to give you some instructions, something like let's all waggle our fingers or something like that, and you do it. But if I give you an instruction and I don't say Mog Says, do you do it? No, you don't. All right, are you ready? Here we go. Mog says, march like a soldier. Very good. Well done, Mog. Mog says, rub your tummy. Excellent. Mog says, waggle your hands. That's it. And jump up and down. Oh dear, you are forgetful today, Mog. Remember, you only do it if I say Mog says. Let's try again. Are you ready? Here we go. Mog says, clap your hands. Mog says, shake your body. That's it. Mog says, march like a soldier again. And jump up and down. Oh dear, Mog. You really are forgetful. Never mind, let's try once more. Are you ready? Here we go. Mog says, jump up and down like a rabbit. That's it. Mog says, clap your hands. Mog says, shake your tail. And rub your tummy. Well done, Mog. You kept on shaking your tail. Let's give Mog a clap. Well done. How did you get on? Well, it's nearly time for us to go. But just before we do, I've got something really special for Mog. You see, I don't think any birthday would be complete without one of these. A birthday cake. Now, we're all going to sing the birthday song. I'll light the candle, we'll sing to Mog, and then I want you to blow the candle out, Mog. All right? But when you blow the candle out, I want you to make a wish, and then we'll see if we can guess what Mog wished for. So, let's light the candle. Are you ready? Nice deep breath. Here we go. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, dear Mog. Happy birthday to you. Now I'm going to count to 3 and then a nice big blow and blow out the candle. And don't forget to make a wish. You ready? 1, 2, 3 and well done, Mog! Did you remember to make a wish? You did. I wonder what Mog wished for. Let's try and guess. I know. Did you wish to have a nice fish to eat? No. Okay. Did you wish to have a nice big comfy cushion to sleep on? No. I know what you wish for. Did you wish you could have an egg? Yes! Well, you're very lucky, Mog, because later on we're going to have some tea and you can have an egg. Yes! But I'm afraid it's time for Mog and I to go now. Thank you ever so much for coming and helping us celebrate her birthday. Bye-bye!